The way that I was feeling the day I was baptized was just overall joy. Just coming to a point in my life where I was proclaiming to people in my world that I was choosing Jesus, because throughout the course of my life, I saw how God chose me and how I understood how Jesus chose us through the sacrifice that he made. And I couldn't deny that voice anymore. So that day I just felt, it was like finally, like I've reached this point, and it was just really overwhelming happiness. My journey before I met Jesus was a dark one. For many years of my life, I suffered depression. From far as back as I can remember, as 9 years old, I suffered such depression where I used to cut myself. I was medicated, had to go to different psychiatrists and psychologists throughout the years, hospitalizations, and even, sadly, several attempts on my own life. I didn't think that there was ever going to be a way out. I saw so much darkness, but there would be times where I would see a glimpse of light, through my friends, through my family. I felt like there were times where God really was trying to reach me through them, and I just couldn't hear. And it wasn't one day until I met a woman. She was my therapist, but I learned later that she was actually a God-fearing woman. And I remember sharing with her that in my depression, all I felt was that I was the example of what not to be for people, and not something that God would ever be proud of, and that I was good for nothing. She challenged me, and I felt like God used her in that moment to tell me, you're good at being negative, but there's so much positive, and you can choose to be positive, but you're choosing to be negative. And it was from that moment that I felt God really got into my head and my heart and said, you know what? It was so transformative for me to see it different. I think about 4 or 5 years in, that's when I saw the Grace Place online. And I said, you know what, God, you answered my prayer, because I always tell everybody I wanted to be in a place where I no longer felt like I was just being a spectator, but I wanted to be a servant to him, because he had done nothing but serve me all my life. Even when I didn't acknowledge it, he carried me all the way to this point, through keeping me here on this earth, through putting people in my life to help uplift me. And I decided that after so many years and seeing all the provisions he's made, I said, I can't deny you anymore, Lord. And that's when I decided to make the public proclamation that I choose.